Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day before starting the video. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Becky Lynch has been the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion for 87 days now. Clash in Paris 2025 could prove to be a career-altering premium live event for the man, as she not only retained her title, beating Hall of Famer Nikki Bella, but she also joined her husband, Seth Rollins' faction, The Vision. She went on to help the Visionary retain his title with her actions at the PLE. However, Lynch's IC title reign may end soon at the hands of a returning icon. Big Time Bex intervened in the main event fatal four-way bout during the closing moments, and low-blowed CM Punk, who was on the verge of beating Rollins. Becky's interference led to Rollins winning. Further, she even slapped the best in the world on WWE Raw this past Monday night. Before leaving the ring, CM Punk issued a warning to Lynch that she would pay the price for putting her hands on him. All the signs hint at the return of Punk's wife and former Divas champion, AJ Lee. In a shocking twist, the Geek Goddess could make her in-ring return after 127 months and challenge Lynch for her WWE Women's IC title. Lee was last seen in action in the Stamford-based promotion on March 30th, 2015, during an edition of Monday Night Raw. It may not be a surprise if the returning star manages to capture the gold, with shenanigans outside the ring costing Becky her title, just like how she cost Punk the World Heavyweight title at Clash in Paris. This could also lead to a mixed tag team match between AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in a future PLE. That said, the angle proposed above is speculative, and nothing has been confirmed yet. According to Brian Alvarez of WR, former Divas champion, AJ Lee is all set to return to the Stamford-based promotion to compete in a mixed tag team matchup alongside her husband, CM Punk, against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch at WWE WrestlePalooza this month. It will be interesting to see whether Lee's return speculation actually comes to fruition anytime soon, and whether Lynch will be punished for her actions. The world of WWE thrives on shock, nostalgia, and the ability to blur the lines between fantasy and reality. In recent weeks, rumors and speculation have been swirling that Becky Lynch, one of the most decorated female superstars in WWE history, could be on the verge of losing her championship to a returning icon. What makes this possibility even more fascinating is the staggering gap of 127 months since this legend's last official singles match. Such a scenario would not only shake up the women's division, but would also mark one of the most remarkable comeback stories in modern professional wrestling history. Becky Lynch's current run has been marked by intensity, consistency, and the undeniable connection she maintains with the WWE Universe. Ever since her rise as the man, Lynch has managed to reinvent herself while keeping the spotlight firmly centered on her storylines. Now, as the reigning champion, she stands at the peak of the division once again. Yet, history shows that WWE often likes to inject unpredictability into its championship pictures, especially by reintroducing past stars who once defined eras of their own. The whispers of an icon returning for one more run fit this mold perfectly. A gap of 127 months translates to well over a decade, meaning the returning WWE icon in question has not competed in a singles contest since around 2014. That era was vastly different from the current women's wrestling landscape. Back then, the division was still transitioning away from the Divas branding, and many performers were rarely given the opportunity to display the type of main event caliber storytelling and athleticism that Becky Lynch and her peers deliver today. To imagine a legend from that time stepping back into the squared circle to challenge Lynch creates a dynamic clash of generations, styles, and philosophies. For Becky Lynch, a loss in such a high-stakes bout would not necessarily tarnish her reign, but rather elevate her opponent while simultaneously enriching her own legacy. WWE thrives on moments, and Becky losing her championship to an iconic figure making a long-awaited comeback could create a viral spectacle that draws mainstream media attention. After all, few things capture fans' imaginations quite like a triumphant return Of course, speculation immediately turns toward possible names. Icons who have been away from singles competition for over 127 months include the likes of AJ Lee, who last competed in 2015 but remains one of the most beloved figures in women's wrestling. Her return would instantly make headlines, and a clash with Becky Lynch could transcend eras. There's also the possibility of someone like Lita, who has made sporadic appearances but has not been a fixture in one-on-one competition at this level for many years. Whoever it is, the idea of stepping into a modern WWE ring against Becky would carry enormous weight. It is also important to consider the business side of such a move. WWE is no stranger to leveraging nostalgia, particularly when it comes to boosting ticket sales, viewership numbers, and premium live event subscriptions. Bringing back a legend to dethrone Becky Lynch could serve as a headline attraction for one of the company's biggest shows, such as Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, or even WrestleMania. The company has consistently proven that moments featuring returning icons resonate deeply with audiences, often overshadowing everything else on the card. Another factor to weigh is Becky Lynch's willingness to put over returning stars. Throughout her career, Lynch has been praised not only for her ability to stay at the top of the card, but also for her professionalism and readiness to elevate others. If a returning icon were to step into the spotlight after 127 months away, it would take a talent of Becky's stature to make the bout believable and to ensure it captured the imagination of fans. A champion like Lynch losing to such an opponent would not be seen as weakness, but rather as her role in further solidifying the significance of the women's division. The physical demands of wrestling cannot be overlooked either. After more than a decade away from singles action, questions would naturally arise about whether the returning icon could hold their own in the ring, with a performer as finely tuned and conditioned as Becky Lynch. WWE would likely take measures to ensure the returning star is properly prepared, perhaps protecting them with a carefully designed match layout that emphasizes storytelling over sheer athleticism. Fans have seen similar strategies employed when legends like The Rock or Goldberg returned for high-profile bouts, and the same formula could be used here. There's also the storyline potential. WWE could frame this return as a battle of eras. The ECN trailblazing pioneer, who once carried the division, returning to prove she still has what it takes, versus the modern-day champion who has redefined what women's wrestling means on a global stage. Such a story practically writes itself and offers the kind of emotional stakes that make wrestling unforgettable. For Becky Lynch, being cast in the role of either the gatekeeper who stands tall or the warrior who falls in a shocking upset only enriches her mythos further. From the perspective of fans, the reaction would likely be a mixture of disbelief, excitement, and curiosity. The WWE Universe is always vocal when legends return, and in this case, the fact that it has been 127 months since the last singles match would add a surreal layer to the occasion. Whether met with cheers of nostalgia or skepticism about ring rust, the spectacle of such a match would ensure that fans are deeply invested. Beyond the ring, this type of moment could also ignite mainstream crossover buzz. News outlets and social media platforms thrive on comeback stories, and the return of an icon after over a decade would make headlines far beyond the world of professional wrestling. For WWE, that means renewed attention from lapsed fans, greater cultural relevance, and the chance to further cement its legacy as the company where unforgettable moments are born. The question then becomes whether Becky Lynch truly should lose her title in this manner. On one hand, such a loss would be historic and serve as a major talking point for years to come. On the other, it risks overshadowing the current women's roster, many of whom have been fighting tirelessly for their chance at the top. Balancing. Nostalgia with progress is a challenge WWE constantly faces, and this situation would represent another test of that balance. What cannot be denied, however, is the allure of the possibility. A returning WWE icon challenging Becky Lynch after 127 months away from singles competition is the type of storyline that embodies everything fans love about professional wrestling: the drama, the surprise, the emotion, and the ability to create moments that live forever in memory. Whether it becomes reality remains to be seen, but the idea alone has already set the WWE Universe ablaze with speculation. Becky Lynch's reign continues, and for now, she remains the face of the division. But the looming shadow of a returning legend adds intrigue to every defense, every promo, and every match she has going forward. Should this long-absent icon finally step back into the ring, the world will be watching, and Becky Lynch may find herself at the center of one of the most historic title changes in WWE history. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.